All right, hello everyone. It's been a long time, but I thought I would just go over a lot of my thoughts about gaming and what I've been playing, what I plan to look forward to. You know, it's crazy to me that indie gaming kind of took over, but in not in a good way. Like, I love this game, Blasphemous 2, but honestly, it's just games that I've played before, 20 plus years ago. It's good. It's like one of the best versions of this game. I guess they called Metroidvanias, and it's one of the best. But, let me delete. I'll do a new one. I haven't beaten this all the way through, but I got really far. I'm going to skip all the videos, or all the cutscenes. If you want to see, a video without me talking about completely random shit, this is not the video to watch for Blasphemous. So, I mean, I'll play and I'll talk about the game as much as I can, but I'm not going to show you anything or talk. Well, I'm going to discuss the, design and all that shit, but mostly what I want to talk about is how these games from these lower, fewer people development teams and stuff like that from other countries, by the way, are just destroying things that are made in America or in the U.S. or even I don't know, like Canada, things like that. It depends. There's still good games coming out occasionally, but man, for me, this shit has gone way downhill. All right, so you know, oh yeah, there's three choices. You can choose any three, and you'll get the other two later on in the game. But at preference, I like the sword the best, even at the end game. You can get a lot of hits for free with this mace, and then this does the most DPS, these dagger fence sword. But the sword is got the best, I don't know, move set. I like the distance, I like the damage it does do, and the speed. Because the mace, if you don't attack while in the air, does very little damage. So, yeah. So talking about why I like Blasphemous 2, um, obviously the aesthetic is huge. And it's like really rich, and they've done like a lot of, you know, the scale and all the things that are in the game are things that you can read about in history. Like they all pertain to something that happened in the religious, texts and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And it may not be real, but like it don't I don't care. Whenever you explore the concepts of whatever it is you're making, that's what I enjoy. It doesn't have to be real, and it doesn't have to be accurate. I mean, the more accurate it is, the better it is. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be those two things. As long as you have a reason for putting that kind of design in your game, and you commit to it, that's all I care about. This boss is retarded. This is the same pattern over and over. Sorry if I don't talk all the time, but what I was gonna say is AAA gaming has gotten so bad. Like, the game mechanics have been redone time and time again. And so, I just recently bought and played Fires of Rubicon for, I got it for PS5, and then I got it on Steam, because when I got it on PS5, this is another tangent, but I can't believe that modern games, you don't play the game. You're basically auto-aiming your way to... And it's difficult. Like, there's difficulty to it. But it's just... I mean, you're really not in control of a lot of what's happening on screen. So, I don't know. If you're a console player, that it is what it is. But you're not in control of basically anything that's going on, especially the aiming. And then I want to say... So I got it for Steam, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll play better. Maybe you'll have to shoot. No, it does all the auto-aim for you. The movement's way better, but it's not for me, dude. I can't believe these Souls games are so loved. Like, and what's ironic to me is that they've gotten easier as time goes on. So people like to pretend that the difficulties, and it is a difficult game. I'm not trying to pretend these aren't hard games, but it's as they get easier, more people love them, and that's confusing because they were completely founded on the like, oh, this is the most hard thing you'll ever do in your life, which is its own bag of worms. Like, I don't understand this. You know, when something's difficult to the point where it's not even fun, why are you playing games if it's like a job that you have to work, you know, 40 hours a week and shit? I'm over that. I don't understand how that's fun for anyone. I told you, I'm going to skip all of this dialogue. If you want to... First off, there's 100 videos of the whole playthrough of every boss and all this shit. So take that as you will. She's telling me the 3 regrets that I have to go kill. The story of this is, you kind of have to read between the lines. It's not in your face, but it's really good. Every, like... later on, we'll be getting items and side quest items and things like that, upgrades. And if you read all the text about it, it's really, really, really interesting. Yeah, I know how to play the game. But anyway, what I love, and then, so, what I want to talk about is, like, Blasphemous 1 is not as good as this game. And you might be like, well, no shit, it came after. But it's bad for different reasons. Like, this game controls perfectly. One of my all-time favorite games that a lot of people will agree is Hollow Knight, and that has just the most amazing control in gaming. And this is really close, like really expertly done. So I appreciate shit like that. And so, I got a spell. Yeah, I know, man. The spells, I'm not gonna lie, the spells are hit or miss. There's like 3 good ones, and then you just repeatedly use those from safe distances. But it's not, you usually just want to fight with your sword. There's a attack cancel. You can attack 2 times really quickly if you crouch on the second attack. Anyway, so what I want to talk about is Blasphemous 1, great game, but really bad control. Like, it's very stifled control. And also they did that... like a lot of the platforming and I can show you an execute. They streamlined the executes. They're not as unique as they were in the first one, which is kind of a bad thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as the first one. But I would rather have better gameplay, hands down, than those executes. And this game oozes atmosphere anyway, so I'm not worried about a few executes. But what I will say is Blasphemous 1 has probably a better, how do I word this? A better aesthetic, or commitment to aesthetic. Because this, I don't know if you saw, because I skipped it, but the cutscenes in this are kind of jarring, but I'm kind of used to that because I grew up, you know, in the 90s where I used to play PS1 games and stuff, and like, if you've ever played Final Fantasy VII growing up, the difference is staggering between the polygons of the character models whenever you're playing, and you watch a cutscene and it's fully animated. It's totally staggering. But same thing here, I guess. Some people are like really turned off by it. I don't think it's that big a deal. So anyway, alright, so Blasphemous 2 is a better controlled game, in my opinion. Like, it's not even close. The amount of stuff you do with your character in this destroys the gameplay in the first one. And so, that's good. That's a linear progression of how the game plays, and I'm good with that. What I'm tired of seeing is games that are coming out now play way worse than games when I was a kid. It's actually insulting. Like, that Starfield, I saw some gameplay, and, you know, I already see the goddamn reviews. All the reviews are already saying, oh, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Are you out of your mind? That game looks and plays worse. Okay, alright, I shouldn't say that. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't look pretty good. But it plays worse than freaking Halo Combat Evolved 23 years ago. How is that possible? I watched a video where the guy throws a grenade. The NPCs don't even react to the grenade at all. They just stand there. They don't do anything. They shoot him a couple times, but they don't do anything. It's not, you know, get down, grenade, nothing. None of that. They don't care that they're about to die. They couldn't care less, apparently. Like I'm about to do. It's just unbelievable that the gameplay has somehow gotten worse. 20 years later, we're still shooting stationary, barely moving NPCs. They don't react to anything you're doing. They're slow, big, huge health pulls because, you know, I guess shooting the same target that doesn't even move 1,000 times is difficult, I guess. I know all these patterns. This shit is hard the first time you do it, but it's not so bad. I know I just got done with a huge long rant about enemies taking too many hits, but you get stronger in this game as time goes on. You know, and that's another thing. You know, power fantasy. Back when I was a kid, that's like what you wanted was to get better at the game, and all your skills were rewarded. The more time you put in, the stronger your character became. That seems to be gone for some reason nowadays, and I can't understand why. So, like, Starfield, you know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they're still making whatever you want to call it, you know, Fallout 76 and all that shit. They're still using the same Oblivion, which was, you know, and a lot of people don't even play Oblivion, but what's the other one? Skyrim. People, like, I don't understand. We're still playing Skyrim in 2023, but it's just called, you know, Starfield. And, you know, if it had like a amazing storyline, you know, I might be about it. If the storyline was top tier, but I don't know if you've been playing games, you know, in the last decade, the storylines have gotten horrendous as time goes on. Nonsense. Like the first cutscene I saw was this woman, and in charge of, oh, this is where I came from, in charge of the people that are going on this crusade or whatever, and she's all pissed off. Oh, I just forgot about this NPC. Yeah, you can't talk to these people yet. I'm pretty sure all I needed was the wall climb. The storylines have gotten so bad and so quickly. I don't understand how both have degraded. I need my mace. The mace rings these bells, and the bells they'll permeate this, like, I don't know what to call it, but anyway, a sound wave, and then it unlocks these doors. And then those floating little girl things over there, you use your cloak and dagger thing, and it launches you in the air. I'll show you later on, if we ever do a part 2. So, I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. These games play worse than they used to. Somehow. I don't even know how it's fucking possible. You know, why do people that play Call of Duty every year, why are they enjoying themselves at all? Like, the amount of auto-aim in these games is staggering. Like, you're barely even controlling your character. And I understand, you're gonna be like, oh, what are you, stupid? There's a big gap in skill, people that, you know how to abuse auto-aim and don't. Yeah, so what? If you took that auto-aim away, these games would collapse in no time. Nobody would play them. And that brings up another point. You know what they should do? I don't know if you've ever in your life given any time to the, what is it called? Motion control? Like the 6-axis control or whatever. That sounds retarded, but it's not as good as a mouse, which is the best by far, but it's comparable. You can actually compete in these games. And furthermore, not only it's like if you don't want to learn a mouse and keyboard, but you want to use a controller because you're more comfortable with it, I would highly advise putting in the time and effort, because at least you're playing the game. Like, I just don't understand why these people devote hundreds of thousands of hours to these games that they're barely even playing. Like, if you're not aiming, what are you doing? Especially in these single-player games. Like, it's just baffling. Like, I was watching Starfield. Dude, the guy's just shooting at a target that just isn't even moving. He's barely moving around his camera, you know what I mean? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why is this appealing to anyone? It's not. But, you know, I guarantee the reviews for this game are going to be 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10. It's just like, these games are ass. Like, they haven't been good in a long time. The music is bland and boring. Like, think back to like Mass Effect. Oh my god, that you know, and it's a relic now. If you played it now, you might be like, oh, the graphics are bad, oh, this, that, or the other. And it's like, yeah, that was made 20 years ago. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of a relic of its time. And still, I would argue it plays better than anything you would play today. You know, turn-based games died out. I still have fun with Mario RPG, which is getting remade. Way more fun than that, than Final Fantasy 16. What a joke. Final Fantasy 16 is a piece of garbage. The music sucked, the combat sucks, it's all... And then God help you, if you suck at these games, you can just put on relics or whatever, and then they become the easiest thing, it all does everything for you. Just get away from me, I'm over it. I don't have my... Do I have it? Oh, I do. I had to make sure I had that. You know, I'm an old man, and I'm playing these old games because at least they're a challenge. At least they try to test, you know... At least I'm playing a game and not watching a boring movie that no one gives a shit about. Again, I could forgive it if the story was good, but the stories suck now. I guarantee the story in that piece of shit game is boring. And that's another thing. You know, I watched some early playthroughs, like the first 5 hours. Yeah, I'd say 90% of it was watching two people stand in front of each other with this boring conversation. There's just no way you give a shit about this stuff. The midgets are really hard to kill. This guy's attack. There's Stagger. This is such good game design. You gotta get 33 of those little fuckers. I don't know, man. When I see gaming degrade year after year, and I understand, you know, some games are good, some games are really, really bad. But for me, being as old as I am, this shit has been on a downward spiral since, I'd say, like 2013. The last, like, truly amazing game that I played that was just blew my mind was Grand Theft Auto 5. And that was 10 years ago. Like, what the hell, man? It's just crazy that that was kind of like the pinnacle of gaming for its time. And that's another thing. You know, back in the day, we used to want games to be really great. And if they weren't great, they get blasted for it. But now, you kind of just hope a game doesn't suck. If a game doesn't suck, you know, it gets an 8 out of 10. It's like, what the hell, man? These games... I played this game 20 years ago. Same gameplay, different story, I guess. It's like, what is the draw? Why would anyone want to do this? Just stand and trade gunfire shots with an NPC. I don't get it, dude. Shit's crazy. You know, and then... Back to, you know, games that I've loved that seem to fail, and you gotta wonder why. I don't want to go. He's gonna... You pay a coin that I don't have, and he's gonna take me somewhere I don't want to go. Anyway, so, like, games that I love that just fail completely. Nosgoth is old. I don't know if you've ever heard or played. It's dead now. Just astonishing gameplay. The gunplay in it was good. There was different, like, you had your hit scan characters, you had your, you know, grenade characters that lob in the air. What the hell? Anyway, but then it was asymmetrical, so you were playing as humans on one side and vampires on the other. And it followed the universe of Legacy of Kain. And oh my god, it's... I can't even begin to explain how revolutionary the gameplay mechanics were for that game. Like, just destroys what is out today. So, you know, and I know what took over, and I don't know exactly why, but the big draw was Battle Royale. And so Nosgoth came at a time where Battle Royale was just taking off. To be really honest, a little bit before. And so, like, Overwatch, which I also loved, you know, Overwatch 1 was just one of the greatest games I've ever played. Overwatch 2 is a catastrophe. they've taken out more content for Overwatch 2 than they put in. Oh, here's another execution. That's a unique one. But so like all the characters that I love in Overwatch get nerfed repeatedly. Like, it's so bad. McCree is so bad. Oh, and they changed his name. McCree is so bad that it's astonishing that anyone would elect to play that character when you could play the new healer, Illari. She's a new hero. She does way more DPS than McCree. She has way more mobility than McCree. She can heal herself, unlike McCree. Like, there's no reason to play McCree at all, and that was my favorite character. You know, you can get by, you can do better than your opponents, but you're gimping yourself playing these trash characters. And now, you can't just buy the whole game anymore. You can't just spend, I think it was $39.99 or whatever it was back in the day. Well, now it's like, a character is $20. A skin for a character is $20. It's like, get away from me. I mean, admittedly, I still play that game, I still love it, but I could see why it's like one of the most hated reviewed games on Steam. It has nothing to do with the gameplay, necessarily, and it's everything to do with their terrible decisions. I don't know where this goes. It's been a minute since I played the beginning of this game. Oh boy. You know what? I don't really want that. What was I gonna say? It just, you know, that Fires of Rubicon game, it's astonishing that anyone likes that shit. It's like, it's Dark Souls, with guns and mechs, obviously, without the positional requirements. Basically, you just dodge huge incoming big damage attacks. You know, the upgrading and piecing out your mech is all pointless because all anyone wants to do is find the strongest mech suit or mech pieces, whatever. There's no reason to not look up a guide and just go for the best gear or gun or whatever. And it's like, what's the point? There's no. I mean, there's a little bit of personality, kind of. Like, you can choose between a fast mech and a slow mech, but like, why would you not just choose the strongest, fastest thing? The guns suck. Like, they're all the same. It just sucks. And then, you know, of course, that game's just being completely relished. Everyone thinks it's the greatest game ever made. And it's like, what a joke. You didn't play this, you know, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Elden Ring. You haven't played this same game 30 times already. Better. Because this game, you know, you're in control of a mech and you have to shoot your way out of all your problems, right? It auto-aims everything for you. You don't do anything. You just move your mech around and shoot. That's it. I mean, just hold the trigger down. It sucks. But anyway, I mean, you know, you say anything like that and you'll get blasted on the internet. You talk about, like, the game company that people love, they'll roast you. But I don't give a fuck. That game sucks. This game's awesome, and I bet you nobody's, you know, it'll probably do okay. I know how to do it. It'll do okay, but not like these games that have been made 72 times. And to be fair, this is a Metroidvania, and Metroid games have been made for longer than, you know, Dark Souls. I understand that. All I'm saying is this game commits to what it wants to be completely. Like, you get to be this guy, the penitent one. You get to kill everyone for sinning. I don't know. That shit's cool to me. I miss being cool in games. Now you know, getting yelled at for not being, or for being a toxic male or some shit. This is ridiculous. I need the double jump. I don't even know where I got that. I haven't used the spells at all because they're just not very good. There's one good, like, hula hoop thing. Oh, I only have one spell. Right. It's gonna be a while. Damn, dude. Oh, I almost died. Motherfucker. See, this is what I'm saying. And when you get the cestus or whatever the mace, you can hit people for free. You might swing at me. I just love the fluidity of this game. Like, I am in control 100% of what my character does. So, like, getting hit is my... Okay, really, dude? Dude, are you serious? Oh, I don't have the other ability. He really is just going to continue to shoot this. I need the other weapon. I don't remember where it is. I kind of just ran as far as you could to the in a straight line. There's more to do. Stop. My cat's eating my cord. Damn, I don't have fast travel either. Eventually you get the ability to travel. There's portals, and they get you some of the way through a lot of the castle, and then there is the ability to travel between the pyres, which I don't have either. Backtracking. It is what it is. Yeah, all the games that I adore die out. Like, I don't have double jump. You know, Gigantic was a game where it had its problems. I'm not going to try to pretend that it was like the best game I've ever played, but it did commit to what, you know, what I consider good game design. Like character, each character was unique and had like an actual play style that varied from the rest of them. I don't know. It seems to be gone. Nowadays, it's like, you know, just pick the strongest character there is, you know, find out what that is, and don't ever look back. You know, League of Legends kind of has fallen into the same trap. There's so many characters, I think like 150 plus or something. It's like, why bother, you know, playing any of the old characters, which they do remake them, but I mean, that's a mixed bag anyway. Why would you ever play any of the old characters when like the new characters have 57 jumps? They do everything that your character used to do and every other character. It's just crazy. And the design has gotten really lazy. Like, they used to be so unique and different. But it's all the same now. The music is good. The ambiance, the character design's sick. There's so much to love about this one. You know, that's another thing, is like music, in my experience, music like of old games, you know, I still to this day listen to Nintendo music. Like, you know, things like Donkey Kong. It has some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. And what was cool is that the whole soundtrack, you know, almost died. There may be better or worse songs throughout the soundtrack, but it was like all cohesive and made you like want to hear, you know, what was coming next. And it made each design or each level felt like it was designed with that. Come on. Come out of here. And today, dude, go listen to Fires of Rubicon soundtrack and see if you give a damn. That shit is boring, dude. It's not cohesive at all. He's telling me I don't have the coin that I need. You know, and maybe Latin guitar isn't, or Spanish guitar isn't your thing. Oh, are you serious? Can I please jump down? Here's the thing, is I can't see below, and there's usually spikes. I don't know. When I think of the greatest soundtracks of all time, I would have to say, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, or even like things like Splinter Cell, which is like my all-time favorite game ever made, for multiplayer. Like, it's a good single-player game, but, you know, I'm not going to oversell it. The multiplayer, we spent thousands of hours playing that fucking game. And for good reason. You could spend thousands of hours and still not learn everything, the intricacy of that game. Still to this day, people play it, and you know what's funny is, like, I've watched, you know, videos of people that get on Discord and find servers so they can play each other. And you can see the amount of skill that has been lost to time. Yeah, see, it's the same animation as the other execute. And, you know, that is what it is. Maybe they'll add some whenever they do some updates for the game. Because the game's fully released, and this is what you get what you get. But they might go further. Anyway, what I was saying is the soundtrack to that multiplayer game is better than anything I've heard in the last, like, 5 years. It's crazy how bad music has gone downhill. It's not that it's bad music, it's just, you know, it's not catchy, it's not something you would listen to outside of the game, or be able to tell. You know, here's a good example. You can't play a single note from Ocarina of Time, and I can know exactly where you're playing. Like, if it plays, you know, the Realm of Shadows or something, like from the Ocarina, I can tell instantaneously from one note what you're trying to play or what's being played. But I can't name a single song from Breath of the Wild. And I know everyone, you know, either that's your first Zelda, or I can't explain why people love that game so much. And I'm not trying to say it's a bad game. All I'm saying is, like, you guys are out of your minds trying to pretend that is even in the same universe as Ocarina of Time. It's good for different reasons. Basically, it's good for not being a Zelda game. It's basically not a Zelda game. Hold on, I think I can do, like, a far jump. I'm looking it up. Fuck these guys. But, okay, early Nintendo, or even Nintendo 64, if you want to go that far, these songs are so... I mean, I can't tell you how many videos I've seen of, what is it called? Yoshi story music, or Yoshi, you know, or Wii U music, or whatever. Like, when you're in the store for the Nintendo Wii, people use that because it's the most catchiest shit on earth. Like, it's so good. I couldn't name any of the Nintendo Switch songs. I couldn't name any of them. And I love some of those games. I bought Pikmin 4. I love that game. That game's awesome. But the music sucks compared to Pikmin 1 or 2 or 3. It's just not as good. And it makes no sense. Like, they had the groundwork made up a year ago. Or, I'm sorry, 10 years ago. Like, get it together. Yeah, it gets smoked. Where am I going, dude? Hold on. I'm fucking up. This is just a platform for me to rant and talk about shit that no one cares about. And I don't really care if anyone watches it or not, because I'm tired of games being made the exact same way for decades, and nobody says anything. Not only does no one say anything, people relish this new trash that comes out. Freaking garbage. This piece of shit, I guarantee Starfield... And you know what? Hold on. Let me take the gas pedal down a little bit. I mean, it might be pretty good. It might be okay. Fine. It's... Okay, I was almost going to start ranting again. That's fine if you like the game. That's fine. I don't have double jump. But these people pretending that these are, like, the greatest games ever made is a joke. Like, what a joke. If this game gets anything above, like, a 7, it's a lie. That's a lie. The only reason you would give that game a 7 out of 10 is because you're so... Either you've never played a good game, or you've never played Skyrim, or you've never played... And I'm not saying that Skyrim... I understand that this is better than Skyrim. Yes, so what? It's still Skyrim. You shoot instead of swing a dumb sword or cast a spell, but it's the same game. It's the same game. And people are just lining up to play it again. It's crazy to me. They don't even, like, I understand the settings change. Here's the thing. There's no way it has a better story. There's no way. I don't believe it. I don't believe these people are paying a close enough detail of, like, how a story should be told. It's going to have innuendo in it. It's going to have, you know, shit that I'm not going to get into, that I don't want to see. I guarantee anyone my age is completely over it, dude. This shit is old, and it's been happening for about, like, what, it's like 7 years, this narrative shit where it just keeps going on and on and on. Over it, dude. You sit there and tell me that, you know, all men are evil, women hate men. Every woman character is infinitely better than every male character for no reason. It's never explained. Like, even that piece of shit Starfield, in the first, like, cutscene, you can see there's this woman. She looks battle tired and stuff, and, like, kind of, she's got this, like, expression of, like, oh, new recruit, oh, I hate dealing with this. And it's like, get out of here, dude. Nobody's buying it, man. This shit is fake news, man. It's dumb. Okay, here's the thing. If you want to have that kind of narrative, explain it and make it make sense. So what I'll go with this is, you know, in Kill Bill, which is an old movie and people might not have seen it or don't care to, you know, Beatrix is the main character, and she's this super trained assassin that can kill... No way. What the fuck?